Something colossal is moving beneath your feet right now. 71% of the planet pulsates, breathes, hunts in the darkness, and we completely ignore it. There are creatures down there 300 years old that have never seen sunlight. Mountains larger than entire continents hidden beneath miles of black water. Mysterious sounds recorded in the depths that no scientist can explain. A single animal consumes 4 tons of food a day and disappears without a trace. Waters boiling at 400 degrees alongside others frozen below zero in the same place. The world's largest cemetery isn't on land. The planet's largest animal migration happens every night, vertically, and you've never heard of it. There is something alive in the oceans that is bigger, older, and smarter than anything you can imagine. And it's watching you right now. Prepare to discover what truly governs this planet, because it's not us. Since the dawn of life on Earth, more than 3.5 billion years ago, the oceans have reigned as the true masters of our blue planet. Covering 71% of the Earth's surface, these immense masses of salt water hold secrets that humanity has only begun to unravel. Beneath waves that dance in the sunlight and plunge into abysses where darkness is absolute, exists a parallel universe of unparalleled beauty and profound mysteries. Here, in depths reaching more than 11,000 meters in the Mariana Trench, the crushing pressure could destroy submarines as if they were paper. But life persists, adapted and resilient. The oceans are not just reservoirs of water. They are the beating heart of the planet, regulating the climate, producing more than half of the oxygen we breathe, and harboring 94% of all life on Earth. Prepare for an unprecedented expedition across the 5 oceans that surround our world. The majestic Pacific, with its incomprehensible vastness, the tempestuous Atlantic, bridge between continents and cultures, the icy Arctic, realm of eternal ice, the remote Antarctic, guardian of the purest waters, and the mysterious Indian Ocean, cradle of ancient civilizations. This cinematic journey will reveal how invisible ocean currents connect distant ecosystems thousands of kilometers apart, how bioluminescent creatures transform the depths into underwater galaxies, and how every drop of ocean water participates in an infinite cycle that sustains all life on Earth. Through never-before-captured images and narratives that intertwine science and emotion, we will witness the raw power of ocean storms, the delicacy of coral reefs, and the majesty of marine giants that traverse entire continents in their epic migrations. Welcome to the infinite oceans. The Pacific Ocean stretches like a colossal liquid mirror, covering an area of 165 million square kilometers, larger than all land masses combined. Its waters wash the shores of 5 continents, from the icy beaches of Antarctica to the tropical archipelagos of Polynesia, creating a tapestry of marine ecosystems unparalleled on the planet. With an average depth of 4,280 meters, the Pacific harbors the deepest point on Earth, the Mariana Trench, which plunges an astonishing 10,124 meters below the surface. Here, where sunlight never penetrates and the pressure reaches 1,086 times the atmospheric pressure at sea level, bizarre and fascinating creatures have evolved in complete isolation, defying everything we know about the limits of life. Pacific currents, such as the powerful Kuroshio current, flowing at speeds of up to 3 kilometers per hour, transport heat, nutrients, and marine life across continental distances, connecting ecosystems separated by oceans of salt water. In the tropical region of this gigantic ocean, between the islands of Indonesia, the Philippines, and Papua New Guinea, lies the Coral Triangle, the world epicenter of marine biodiversity. These warm waters, with temperatures ranging between 26 and 29 degrees Celsius throughout the year, are home to more than 600 species of reef-building corals and 3,000 species of reef fish. Every square meter of these underwater gardens pulsates with life. Clownfish dance among poisonous anemones. Mimic octopuses transform into sea snakes to confuse predators. And 300-kilogram green turtles glide gracefully over meadows of seagrass. At night, when the sun sets over these volcanic islands, a magical transformation occurs. Corals extend their translucent tentacles, cleaner shrimp establish grooming stations, and nocturnal predators emerge from rocky crevices. The Pacific is not just an ocean. It's an aquatic universe where every creature, from microscopic plankton to the 30-meter blue whale, plays a crucial role in an ecological symphony orchestrated over millions of years. Invisible to the naked eye but fundamental to life on Earth, ocean currents form a planetary circulatory system of extraordinary complexity. The Great Ocean Conveyor Belt, a continuous circuit of water that meanders through all the oceans, moves approximately 100 million cubic meters of water per second, equivalent to 100 times the flow of the Amazon River. This global underwater river takes about 1,000 years to complete a full cycle, transporting heat from the equator to the poles and redistributing essential nutrients from the depths to the surface waters. Without this oceanic circulatory system, tropical regions would be even hotter. The poles would be uninhabitably cold, and marine life as we know it simply would not exist. Surface currents, driven by trade winds and the Earth's rotation, move in gigantic circular gyres in each hemisphere, while deep, dense, and cold currents slowly creep across the ocean floor on journeys that traverse submerged continents. Off the west coast of South Africa, where the icy Benguela Current meets the warm waters of the Indian Ocean, one of the most extraordinary natural spectacles on the planet takes place: the Sardine Run. Between May and July each year, billions of sardines migrate north along the coast, forming shoals so dense that they darken the water over a stretch of 7 kilometers long and 1.5 kilometers wide. This mobile feast attracts predators from across the ocean. Common dolphins in groups of thousands, copper sharks in feeding frenzy, bride's whales with their mouths wide open, seabirds diving from the sky like feathered projectiles. The water temperature in this region ranges between 14 and 20 degrees Celsius, creating a transition zone where cold water and tropical species meet. This phenomenon, governed by ocean currents and seasonal winds, demonstrates how invisible physical forces orchestrate migrations involving trillions of organisms, connecting marine and terrestrial ecosystems in an ecological dance of epic proportions that has been repeating itself for millions of years. The Atlantic Ocean, the second largest ocean on the planet, with its 16 million square kilometers, is much more than a body of water separating America from Europe and Africa. It is a living entity that has shaped human history and continues to influence the global climate. Formed approximately 180 million years ago by the fragmentation of the supercontinent Pangaea, the Atlantic still grows 2.5 centimeters per year due to tectonic activity along the mid-Atlantic Ridge, an underwater mountain range that extends 16,000 kilometers from north to south. Its waters range from tropical temperatures of 28 degrees Celsius in the Caribbean to a frigid -2 degrees near Greenland. The average depth of 3,700 meters hides abyssal valleys, underwater mountains, and entire ecosystems that exist in perpetual darkness, fed not by photosynthesis, but by chemosynthesis in hydrothermal vents that spout superheated water at 350 degrees Celsius. In the heart of the North Atlantic, about 600 kilometers southeast of Bermuda, lies the enigmatic Sargasso Sea, a unique oceanic region defined not by land borders, but by clockwise circulating ocean currents. This 2 million square kilometer area is characterized by dense accumulations of algae of the genus Sargassum, which float freely, forming golden meadows on the deep blue surface. These algae provide critical habitat for more than 200 species of fish, crustaceans, and mollusks, including the extraordinary sargassum fish, perfectly camouflaged among the yellowish fronds. Juvenile sea turtles spend their first years in this floating nursery, growing from 5-centimeter hatchlings to 25-centimeter juveniles before migrating to coastal waters. European and American eels make the opposite journey. After decades living in rivers and lakes, they travel thousands of kilometers to the Sargasso Sea to spawn and die, completing a mysterious life cycle that has challenged scientists for centuries. Coral reefs represent the most biodiverse ecosystems in the oceans, harboring approximately 25% of all known marine species, despite occupying less than 1% of the marine environment. Built over millennia by tiny coral polyps that secrete calcareous skeletons, these underwater palaces grow extremely slowly, between 5 millimeters and 2 centimeters per year in the fastest-growing species. The Australian Great Barrier Reef, visible from space, stretches for an impressive 2,300 kilometers along the Queensland coast, covering an area of 344,000 square kilometers. This living megastructure, composed of more than 3,000 individual reefs and 900 islands, is home to 1,500 species of fish, 4,000 species of mollusks, and 420 species of hard corals. Each component of this complex ecosystem exists in delicate balance. Symbiotic algae called zooxanthellae live within the tissues of the corals, performing photosynthesis and providing up to 90% of the energy needed for their hosts. In the crystal-clear waters of Palau Atoll, located in the western Pacific Ocean 700 kilometers east of the Philippines, vertical reefs plunge from rocky walls to depths of 300 meters or more. Here, where nutrient-rich ocean currents encounter submerged obstacles, life explodes in kaleidoscopic profusion. Red and purple gorgonians undulate like giant fans filtering microscopic plankton. Gray reef sharks patrol the outer edges in precise formations. Manta rays with wingspans of 5 meters glide majestically over cleaning stations where tiny cleaner fish remove parasites from their skin. During the synchronized spawning of the corals, a phenomenon that occurs annually a few days after the October full moon, billions of eggs and sperm are released simultaneously in an underwater reproductive blizzard, tinting the water pink and white. This event, timed with astronomical precision and synchronized through chemical signals not yet fully understood, exemplifies the intricate coordination that governs reef life. The Arctic Ocean, the smallest and shallowest of the planet's oceans at 14 million square kilometers, represents an extreme environment where life persists against all odds. During 6 months of polar winter, darkness is absolute, and temperatures plummet to -40 degrees Celsius, while more than 15 million square kilometers of sea ice form a solid crust over the dark waters. This ice is not merely frozen water. It is a complex ecosystem where microscopic algae colonize the bottom surface, forming dense communities that serve as food for Arctic krill, amphipods, and other invertebrates, which in turn sustain fish, seals, and whales. The average depth of 1,285 meters hides abyssal plains and underwater mountain ranges, including the Lomonosov Ridge, which extends for 1,800 kilometers beneath the geographic North Pole. Surface waters, with reduced salinity due to seasonal ice melt and the influx of Siberian rivers, create a low-density layer that hinders vertical mixing and influences global weather patterns. Beneath the permanent ice of the central Arctic, where thicknesses can reach 4 meters or more, ringed seals maintain breathing holes through which they emerge to fill their lungs with frigid air. Polar bears, apex predators weighing up to 800 kilograms, tirelessly patrol the ice in search of these holes, patiently waiting for hours in a hunt that demands deadly precision and perfect timing. Each bear needs to consume approximately 70 seals a year to survive. A third of that amount during the critical spring months, when females emerge from birthing dens with newborn pups weighing only 600 grams. In the open waters between ice flows, male narwhals display their spiral tusks, which can grow up to 3 meters long. Extraordinary sensory organs containing millions of nerve endings capable of detecting minute changes in temperature, pressure, and salinity. During the short Arctic summer, when the sun remains above the horizon for 24 hours a day, bursts of phytoplankton tint the waters emerald green, feeding food chains that support everything from tiny copepods to 100-ton bowhead whales. The Indian Ocean, the third largest ocean body at 70 million square kilometers, is distinguished as the only ocean mostly confined to the southern hemisphere, its tropical and subtropical waters extending from the east coast of Africa to the shores of Western Australia. Bounded to the north by the Indian subcontinent, this ocean experiences dramatic reversals of surface currents governed by seasonal monsoons, winds that reverse direction between winter and summer, bringing torrential rains to India, Bangladesh, and Southeast Asia. During the southwest monsoon, between June and September, moisture-laden winds blow at speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour, pushing surface waters and causing upwellings that bring nutrients from the depths, fertilizing the waters and triggering bursts of biological productivity. The average surface temperature of 22 degrees Celsius masks extreme variations, from 28 degrees in the tropical Persian Gulf to 15 degrees in the waters influenced by the Antarctic circumpolar current to the south. In the Maldives, An archipelago of 192 coral atolls, emerging from abyssal depths in the heart of the Indian Ocean. Channels between islands channel plankton-laden ocean currents, attracting the largest concentrations of manta rays on the planet. These gentle giants, with wingspans reaching 7 meters and weighing 2 tons, perform elegant feeding pirouettes, filtering up to 30 kilograms of plankton daily through specialized gills. During the breeding season, between October and April, 12-meter whale sharks converge on these same waters, their 1.5-meter wide mouths swallowing tons of nutrient-rich water. Further south, in the cold waters around Madagascar, the world's 4th largest island, sperm whales dive to depths of 2,000 meters in hunts that can last 90 minutes, using sophisticated echolocation to locate giant squid in the abyssal darkness. Each dive presents an extreme physiological challenge. Heart rate drops from 60 to 10 beats per minute, and blood is diverted from peripheral organs to protect the brain and heart, while crushing pressures compress the lungs to the size of closed fists. The Southern Ocean, officially recognized as the 5th ocean in 2021, encircles the Antarctic continent across an expanse of 20 million square kilometers of stormy, icy waters. Defined by the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, the most powerful ocean current on the planet, transporting 135 million cubic meters of water per second at speeds of up to 25 kilometers per hour, this ocean acts as a thermal barrier, isolating Antarctica and keeping the continent in the grip of permanent freezing. During the austral winter, from March to September, the ocean surface freezes, forming sea ice that effectively doubles the size of Antarctica, expanding to cover 19 million square kilometers. The water temperature remains constant at an impressive minus 1.8 degrees Celsius, below the freezing point of pure water, but kept liquid by high salinity. Under these extreme conditions, Antarctic fish have developed antifreeze proteins in their blood, allowing them to survive in waters that would instantly freeze organisms from other regions. Beneath the Antarctic sea ice, in a world of bluish twilight filtered through meters of compacted snow, Antarctic krill form super swarms of incomprehensible density. Aggregations of trillions of individuals covering areas of 450 square kilometers. These translucent 6-centimeter crustaceans constitute the most biodiverse animal species on the planet. Conservative estimates suggest 500 million tons of krill in the Antarctic oceans, exceeding the biomass of all humanity. This seemingly inexhaustible resource sustains the Antarctic food chain. 45-kilogram emperor penguins, which dive to depths of 565 meters in 22-minute hunts. 450-kilogram leopard seals, apex predators with jaws capable of crushing penguin skulls. And blue whales weighing 170 tons consume an astonishing 3,600 kilograms of krill daily during the Antarctic feeding season. In the waters near the floating ice shelves, where ancient glaciers dump icebergs the size of cities, waters rich in dissolved minerals sustain phytoplankton explosions that tint the sea turquoise, transforming the Southern Ocean into a polar garden of productivity during the brief summer months. The last unexplored territory. Below 1,000 meters of depth, where sunlight never penetrates and pressure increases by 1 atmosphere for every 10 meters of descent, lies the largest habitat on Earth, the abyssal depths. This zone, representing 65% of the entire ocean surface, remains less explored than the surface of Mars. At constant temperatures between 2 and 4 degrees Celsius, in absolute darkness broken only occasionally by bioluminescent flashes, bizarre creatures have adapted through millions of years of evolution in isolation. Viperfish with teeth so long they cannot completely close their mouths, Dumbo octopuses flapping ear-like fins to float gracefully over abyssal plains, and giant 2-meter-tall sea cucumbers crawling through the sediment, consuming organic debris that falls like snow from the surface waters. At 3,000 meters deep, the pressure reaches 300 atmospheres, equivalent to having 300 kilograms compressing every square centimeter of the body. In mid-ocean ridges, where tectonic plates drift apart and magma emerges forming new crust, hydrothermal vents spout superheated water laden with dissolved minerals. These energy oases in abyssal deserts support complete ecosystems based not on photosynthesis, but on chemosynthesis. Bacteria convert sulfurous compounds into energy, forming the basis of food chains where giant tube worms, 2.5 meters long, grow without mouths or anuses, obtaining nutrients entirely through symbiotic bacteria lodged in their tissues. Albino yeti crabs, covered in bristles teeming with filamentous bacteria, actively cultivate their own microbial plantations by waving their claws over fumaroles. Near Guadalupe Island in the eastern Pacific, Scientists recently discovered hydrothermal vents at depths of 3,800 meters, where temperatures reach 407 degrees Celsius, the hottest waters ever recorded emerging from the ocean floor. In these extreme, seemingly alien environments, life not only persists, but thrives, suggesting that organisms can survive in conditions far beyond what we previously considered possible. The blue whale, the largest animal that has ever existed on Earth, embodies the magnificence of the oceans on an almost incomprehensible scale. Reaching lengths of 33 meters and weighing 200 tons, equivalent to 33 African elephants, these gentle titans traverse entire oceans in annual migrations that cover up to 16,000 kilometers. Their hearts, the size of a small car and weighing 600 kilograms, pump 10,000 liters of blood through arteries so wide that a human child could crawl through them. During the summer, in the icy Antarctic and subarctic waters, a single blue whale consumes up to 3,600 kilograms of krill daily, filtering water through 390 baleen plates that function like giant sieves. Their songs, produced at 188 decibels, louder than jet engines, propagate across entire oceans, allowing communication between individuals separated by 1,600 kilometers of open water. Some vocalizations in the 10 to 40 Hz frequency range travel even greater distances, leading to theories that blue whales may potentially communicate across entire ocean basins. In the tropical and temperate waters of the global oceans, 6-meter-long great white sharks patrol as evolutionary sentinels, virtually unchanged for 400 million years. These apex predators, weighing up to 2,200 to 60 kilograms, detect minute electrical fields produced by prey mussels through specialized organs called ampullae of Lorenzini. Sensors so precise that they identify variations of half a billionth of a volt. During predatory attacks on seals, great white sharks accelerate vertically from depths of 30 meters, reaching speeds of 40 kilometers per hour and launching themselves completely out of the water in spectacular leaps of 3 meters in height. Contrary to their reputation as mindless killing machines, research reveals complex social intelligence. Great white sharks establish social hierarchies, demonstrate curious exploratory behavior, and pregnant females migrate to specific nurseries where they give birth to up to 14 live pups after an 11-month gestation period. In the Indian Ocean, near Dyer Island in South Africa, the largest concentration of great white sharks on the planet converges between May and September, attracted by colonies of 55,000 fur seals that offer abundant hunting opportunities. The oceans are facing unprecedented transformations in recorded human history. Since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, they have absorbed approximately 30% of all carbon dioxide emitted by human activities, gradually acidifying the waters at a faster rate than at any time in the last 65 million years. This acidification, reducing ocean pH by 0.1 units since 1850, compromises organisms that build shells and calcareous skeletons, from tiny planktonic pteropods that form the base of polar food chains to coral reef builders in tropical regions. Simultaneously, surface ocean temperatures have increased by approximately 0.8 degrees Celsius during the last century, triggering increasingly frequent coral bleaching events where colonies expel symbiotic algae and starve to death. In the crystal-clear waters of the Great Barrier Reef, massive bleaching events in 2016, 2017, and 2020 affected two-thirds of the reefs, transforming multicolored gardens into spectral limestone cemeteries. However, amidst the challenges, stories of resilience and hope emerge, demonstrating the ocean's capacity for recovery when adequately protected. Marine reserves established in the Chagos Islands, protecting 640,000 square kilometers of the Indian Ocean, show remarkable recovery of shark, tuna, and sea turtle populations in just 1 decade of full protection. Innovative coral restoration technologies, including fragment cultivation in underwater nurseries and transplantation to degraded reefs, demonstrate survival rates exceeding 80% in some locations. Humpback whale populations, reduced to just 1/400 individuals in the 1960s due to commercial whaling, have recovered spectacularly to approximately 80,000 after international protection was implemented in 1966. These stories prove a fundamental truth. When we allow the oceans the space and time necessary to recover, these resilient ecosystems respond with surprising vigor. The future of the infinite oceans lies in our collective choices. Every decision that reduces pollution, protects marine habitat, or supports sustainable practices represents an investment in planetary health that sustains not only marine life, but all of human civilization. This journey through the endless oceans has revealed only fragments of the magnitude and mystery that surround 71% of our blue planet. From tropical reefs bursting with color to abyssal depths inhabited by alien creatures, from migratory giants traversing hemispheres to microscopic plankton producing half the oxygen we breathe. The oceans are truly the beating heart of the Earth. Each wave that breaks on the shore carries stories of epic journeys, unseen ecological connections, and wonders yet to be discovered in the unexplored depths. If this cinematic expedition through the world's oceans touched your heart and expanded your understanding of these vital ecosystems, Please like this video to support the production of more documentaries celebrating the magnificence of the natural world. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next journeys through the most extraordinary environments on the planet. Share this documentary with family and friends, because the more people understand the great importance of the oceans, the greater our collective ability to protect them for future generations. Infinite oceans call, and we are all guardians of their sacred waters.